My name is Andy Hoover. I'm a community organizer with the American Civil Liberties Union of Pennsylvania. We appreciate everybody being here tonight. We're co-sponsoring this along with Equality Advocates Pennsylvania and the Value All Families Coalition. Now, whenever we have an event like this, I will often take a few minutes to kind of set the stage and talk a little bit about the issue, but I think tonight with the speakers we have, I don't really have to do that because we have a great group of speakers that are going to be talking about this issue, and then of course we will take the time to have discussion and question and answer as well. Just to give you an idea, we have, in terms of our group of speakers, we have two representatives here tonight, two state representatives, and I think this says something about where we are on this issue. One of them is a Democrat whose district includes the city of York. The other is a Republican whose district includes a lot of the small towns in northern Adams County and western York County. We're also joined tonight by two members of the clergy who remind us that this issue, on these issues, the religious community is not a monolith. And perhaps most powerful of all, we're joined tonight by someone who has faced discrimination as a result of his sexual orientation in the workplace. And I'm sure he's not the only one in this room who's had to deal with that as well. So I'm looking forward to a great discussion and an educational opportunity. I want to introduce our legislative director, Larry Frankel, and he'll get things started.
Thank you, Andy. I am the legislative director for the ACLU of Pennsylvania, and I'll say my name again, Larry Frankel. We are here tonight to talk about a bill that was introduced by Dan Frankel. He is no relation of mine. He doesn't want to be. I don't think that being related to the ACLU lobbies is good for your electoral career, but it is interesting to me that we're here talking about the Frankel bill. Just this last week, and it's like we've got a campaign really going to educate people about this legislation and to try and answer questions people have. And if there are people here who disagree with us about the legislation, we want to hear from them as well. And things really got rolling last week because there were hearings of this House State Government Committee, which is a committee of the legislature to whom the bill was assigned. There were hearings in both Pittsburgh and Erie. I attended the Pittsburgh hearing. I want to tell you all that things were very interesting and informative. Most of the witnesses at the hearing were in favor of the bill, and one of those witnesses is here, Dan Miller. The Catholic Conference did testify against the bill. The following day in Erie, there were many witnesses in favor of the bill, but there was one witness in opposition to the bill from the American Family Association of Pennsylvania affiliate. Interestingly enough, when I talked to State Representative Babbitt Josephs, who is both my own state representative but also chair of the committee, she indicated that the witness in opposition to the bill probably drove the one undecided member of the committee who was there into supporting the bill. They were so ineffective in their testimony. Suggested we needed to do some follow-up, but I thought that was interesting. I think the reality is that when we do talk about this issue openly in public, and people have a chance to learn about it and think about it and understand the politics of the situation, we really do make a great deal of progress. And this is really an educational evening. I think it's particularly educational for everybody that we do have two state legislators here, two members of the State House, one Republican and one Democrat, who will explain to all of you why they're supporting this bill. And if they want, I've given them the liberty of, if I could tell them what to say, as if the ACLU can restrict anybody's free speech. Although it's may apply. But how lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender issues are playing out currently in the state legislature. The two representatives, I'm going to call them up as a team to force a Republican and Democrat to stand together in public, are both, they've both been great supporters on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender rights. They've also been, I would say, great supporters of lots of the issues the ACLU cares about. The gentleman, your left, my right, if I got my directions correct, is Representative Eugene D. Pasquale, who is in his first term in the legislature, and he has no fear as a first termer signing on to this bill and speaking out on these issues. And I think that is something greatly to be admired, because a lot of first termers say, I'm not doing anything controversial because it could only get me in trouble. Eugene is a lifelong Pennsylvanian with a Bachelor's of Arts degree from the College of Worcester in Ohio, where he played football and baseball. He has a master's degree in public administration from the University of Pittsburgh and a Juris Doctorate from Widener University School of Law. So he's a lawyer too. Prior to his election, Deep Pasquale served as a Deputy Secretary for Community Revitalization and Local Government Support under Governor Ed Rendell. This was the first time Pennsylvania placed an economic development leader as a Deputy Secretary in an environmental agency. Prior to that, he was also a staffer in Harrisburg for State Senator Allison Schwartz, where I first met Eugene. The other gentleman here is Representative Steve Nickel, who has been in the House of Representatives since 1991, and he represents Northern Haddon and Western York counties. To give you a sense of how long you have to serve in the legislature to actually become a chair or a ranking chair in a committee, I think this term is Steve's first term as the ranking Republican chair of the House Finance Committee. It only took about 16 years of service to have, you have to have that kind of seniority. A 2003 survey of legislators, lobbyists, and staff conducted by the Harrisburg Patriot News named Nickel as the most influential House member non-leadership. Interesting award. And best in the House non-leadership. The York Dispatch called Nickel one of the best lawmakers in York County and noted that he tends to be one of the first lawmakers folks turn to for a voice of reason. And I can certainly concur. My years of lobbying in Harrisburg, which date back to 1992, Steve has really been a voice of reason and someone we can turn to. Prior to becoming a member of the General Assembly, he served as Chief of Staff to State Senator Ralph S. So you guys decide which one of you wants to go first, and tell folks why you're supporting the bill and anything else you want to about the environment for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender issues.